They said love follows the famous, but for Miley Cyrus, love didn't follow her. She chased it through airports, hotel corridors, and the echo of thousands screaming her name. Every tour was a battlefield of emotion, every city a confession written in lipstick and tears. Under the glare of spotlights, she didn't just perform. She lived 1,000 lives in one body, 1,000 heartbreaks in one soul. To the crowd, she was energy, fire, rebellion. But when the lights dimmed and the roar faded into silence, she was just Miley, a woman trying to understand why her heart always burned brighter when it was breaking. Her story began in the chaos of youth, when fame came too early and love came too strong. During the Bangerz Tour, the world saw a hurricane in glitter boots, licking hammers, tearing down the image the industry had built around her. But behind the controversy was a girl who just wanted to feel something real. She would stand in front of mirrors in hotel bathrooms, makeup half smeared, whispering to her reflection, "Is this who I am or who they want me to be?" And somewhere in that confusion, she found herself falling in love, not with stability, but with the thrill of the unknown. Musicians, dancers, fleeting faces that felt like forever for one night. She loved hard, she loved fast, and she loved even when she knew it would end before sunrise. Between concerts, she'd write songs that no one would ever hear, quiet letters to the ones who had left, to the ones who never really stayed. There were moments when the stage lights blinded her so completely that she couldn't see the line between who she was and who she was pretending to be. Love, for Miley, became a way to feel grounded, even if it was only for a moment. But when the tour ended, when the world stopped watching, she realized every romance she had built on the road dissolved as quickly as the glitter on her skin. Then came Younger Now, a different rhythm, a softer version of her heart. She had learned from the storms, or so she thought. She walked onto this new tour not as the wild child, but as a woman searching for peace. Her songs carried nostalgia, her clothes shimmered less, but her eyes, they still carried that old fire. Somewhere between rehearsals and sound checks, she met someone who felt safe. He was quiet, stable, everything she thought she needed. For a while, it worked. They laughed in tour buses, wrote lyrics together, shared midnight dinners after long shows. But love for someone like Miley couldn't stay safe for long. Her heart wasn't built for stillness. It needed movement, passion, danger. She once said in a whispered interview, "When I stop feeling everything, I stop being me." And that was the truth she couldn't escape. As the Plastic Hearts era arrived, Miley was no longer trying to prove anything. Her voice was stronger, her soul older, her love stories fewer but deeper. This tour wasn't just another set of dates. It was a mirror of who she had become. The outfits were darker, the lyrics sharper, the emotion raw. On stage, she was untouchable, but off stage, she was quietly rebuilding herself from every heartbreak she had survived. Sometimes she'd walk alone through empty arenas after soundcheck, her footsteps echoing against the walls, thinking about how love always seemed to find her in the middle of chaos, and how she always let it go before it could destroy her. There was one particular night in Paris, rain falling outside, the city lights painting the windows gold. She sat by herself, guitar on her lap, writing what would later become a hit. It wasn't about fame, it wasn't about rebellion. It was about learning to love without losing yourself. She realized then that her greatest romance wasn't with anyone else. It was with her own evolution. Touring no longer felt like running away. It felt like coming home to the person she had always been beneath the noise. And then came Endless Summer Vacation, the rebirth. The woman who once sang about heartbreak now sang about freedom. Flowers wasn't just a song. It was a declaration. It was the sound of a heart that had been broken, healed, and crowned with gold. During this tour, she no longer chased love. Love seemed to find her, but she didn't reach for it. She smiled, she thanked it, and she let it pass if it wasn't right. Her eyes no longer searched the crowd for someone. They found peace in the music itself. Each performance was a ritual, a release, a love letter to her younger self. Still, there were moments, quiet, tender ones, when she'd feel the ghost of old loves brushing past her, a familiar scent backstage, a song playing on someone's phone, a message left unread. And for a heartbeat, she'd remembered the way it felt to be 22 and invincible. But she didn't ache for it anymore. She had learned that some loves are meant to teach, not to last. And every one of hers had taught her something about strength, forgiveness, and the beauty of being alone. Sometimes during her final encore, she'd look out into the sea of faces, thousands of strangers singing her words back to her, and she'd smile through tears. They didn't know that every lyric they were chanting had been written in moments of real pain. They didn't know that behind that glowing confidence was a woman who had once begged the universe to make her feel loved again. But now, she didn't need that anymore. She was love, radiant, unapologetic, and whole. Because every romantic choice she made on those endless tours, every heartbreak in a foreign hotel, every passionate night that turned into a memory, every tear shed before walking on stage, it all built her into the artist the world sees now. A woman who burns bright not because she was never broken, but because she learned how to turn every fracture into fire. Miley Cyrus never stopped believing in love. She just learned to redefine it. Love wasn't the man waiting backstage. It wasn't the fleeting kisses after midnight. Love was the music, the freedom, the transformation. Love was the courage to keep singing even when her heart trembled. And so when she steps out now, the crowd roaring, lights blazing, she no longer wonders who she'll fall for next. She already knows. She's fallen for the life she created, for the woman she became, for the story that is still being written with every note she sings. The world may gossip about her lovers, her choices, her mistakes, but Miley has already forgiven herself for all of them, because in the end, her greatest romance isn't a headline or a heartbreak. It's the endless dance between who she was, who she loved, and who she finally became beneath the spotlight.